What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Taquan here with my honest opinion, bringing you guys back with another video. And today we're going to talk about the thing that I feel that's really very important: maintaining good finances while in school, university and whatnot, college. Right? So how do you do it? So there's people who have their own videos and their own thoughts and opinions on this, but these are mine. This is what helped me maintain great finances while going to school. And hopefully, these tips will help you maintain good finances while you are in school too. So when you graduate, um, you're not starting from ground zero. You already have a great footing. So when you do graduate, you're just can be that much more great with your finances um, when you graduate college. So let's get right into this video. All right, first things first, write a budget. As you all know, that's obvious. You really need to have a budget. You need to know how much you have coming in and how much you have going out. Essentially, each month, it's a good thing to write it down on paper so you can know whether you over exceed or you have somewhat of a deficit somewhere. That's another thing on my list to touch on when finding ways to make extra income throughout university. It's very important that you have your budget on paper. That way you can see whether you're overspending on stuff you don't need, or you're not spending enough on stuff that you do need. So have a budget, have a budget, have a budget, have a budget. Uh, Two, right? Get a job, right? Get a part-time job, and I guess I'll tie that into with like, you know, um, find ways to make extra money with like scholarships, grants, tutoring services, and whatnot. Um, so if you could get a part-time job, that helps a lot. Helps you keep some income coming in, and if you also have the ability to um, apply for scholarships and grants, and also competitions as well. I know I took first place in our business school's ethics case study competition. Top prize is $2,000, you know, per undergrad and graduate team. And then I think it was like 1,500 and like $1,000 from there. So I was able to sign up for scholarships for having, being of course minority, and also grades. There's also some scholarships too, general scholarships for grades. Um, if you could apply for those, every school should have somewhat of a scholarship portal. I'm not really the biggest fan of the whole external scholarship things, the ones you can kind of find all over the internet, because you really never really get those. But if any local, you know, nonprofit organization has scholarships, or your school has scholarships, I would highly recommend you to apply for those. That money helps a lot, and you can do a lot of good things with that money if you really don't need it, but apply for it. That money can go towards your savings account. The money can go towards you starting your essentially building somewhat of an investment account throughout college. The money can go towards you getting a car if you need one, or paying old bills off, or whatever. Attending conferences or buying books, expanding your mind, picking up extra classes, or paying for courses throughout the summer or winter term. That money can be very useful. So go and get it. It's out there. All you have to do is put your name on it. Probably selling stuff online. This university, so you can sell like tutoring services to people, homework. I remember a big thing was me. I was selling. I'll charge. As you know, working in a group in university is terrible, right? Group project. So I'll essentially do the whole project and then charge $20 a piece for everybody's part, essentially. Some people, so tutoring and whatnot, whatever, it's a great way to bring in extra money, and give up your summers too. Unfortunately, sorry, no one wants to hear this. You've been studying all year long, and most people just want to chill out during the summer. Me, not so much. I do it. I work very hard during the school year. I worked very hard during the school year, and I gave up all my summers to either doing classes and working full time, or just working full time and doing as much overtime as I could. That helps a lot when you're working at full time plus overtime. You're able to stack up a lot of money from when you do go back to school. You're not really stressing about covering bills or whatnot. You can really kind of take some time off, or just work a part-time job whenever you could. But having the ability to have the extra income from working full time plus overtime during the summer, and spring break and like the winter term and stuff like that, allows you to kind of have some more financial security, especially students who struggle financially throughout school. So sorry, I know you really hear it, but work as much as you can. And of course, you still have, you know, times throughout the summer you just may not decide to work overtime. Um, you get to do stuff on your weekends, but I don't really give up my summers to not doing nothing. I always have to do something. So that's another way to kind of bring in extra money to help you throughout university. So another tip is don't buy stuff that you don't need. All right, I've seen plenty of people do this. Right, they get extra money back from their financial aid. They get this extra money back from these scholarships and grants, and they go and take the money. And they go splurge in and on shopping sprees. I do not recommend it. It's a waste of money. You don't need it. I'm not saying you can't buy yourself something like shoes or clothes or stuff like that, but you don't need to do it heavy 4 years in a row. It doesn't make sense. Like every year, I mean, like how many pairs of red shoes, red, black, white shoes, blue shoes do you need, right? If you take care of your stuff, it'll last a long time. Depending on how you clean your clothes and how well you maintain your shoes and stuff like that, that stuff can last a very long time. I buy quality, but I also know how to take care of my stuff. So my stuff lasts a long time. I still got shoes that I had for over 4 or 5 years ago that are still in good condition that I wear a lot. I maintain my stuff. So please learn how to maintain your clothes and shoes so you don't have to keep buying shoes and clothes all over again. And when you do go shopping, don't always settle for the cheapest things on some stuff, because it doesn't last a long time. I like to buy quality stuff. Doesn't have to mean it's expensive, but quality stuff that I can mismatch with different stuff and it lasts a long time if I maintain it. So not buying stuff you don't need allows you to save money. It allows you to kind of learn how to handle money. I think it's a big thing too about individuals in college, but they teach that first semester or second semester in the business school. So if you're a business major and you still going against what they're advising you not to do, I don't know what else to tell you. But do not buy stuff you don't need. It's dumb. Please refrain from that, please. Some say give back any extra money that you receive from student loans. I say yes, depends. Take that money and invest, right? Take that money and invest. You don't really have to start paying on that till 6 months after you graduate. So you can either give it back. Some people keep it and go and shopping with it anyway. You can give it back and just be fine with not having to pay on it when you do have to start paying on your student loans. Or if you're not going to give it back, at least take that money, start building you an investment account. You can open up your own brokerage account, start buying individual stocks and ETFs and bonds, stuff like that. Or get you a Roth IRA, put money into that, tax-free. You could do that, but that's a good thing too. Build you an investment account, or you can get the money back if you want to keep the money and splurge anyway. I recommend you just start building an investment account. I think the S&P returned 16.5% over the past 10 years. Average market return is about 10%. So that over a 4-year period, freshman year to senior year, you can really consider 5 years as really 4.5. But you start college half the year in on the second half of the year anyway, so it's really 4 years. I guess still 4 years, still a lot of time where all that compound interest can be hidden in your accounts. with the money you could have either gave back or you were going to blow anyway. It's an investment account. So it's a great way for you to get somewhat of a footing into the world when you get out of university. You already have somewhat of investment account rolling. And you can just start adding to that as you get into your career and start working and stuff like that. You kind of already been doing it for a while, so you're a little bit more comfortable with stocks and stuff like that. So that's a good tip. I recommend that. You don't really have to necessarily get money back right away, but you could if you want to, just keep your loan as low as possible, or you can just put it in a brokerage account, Roth IRA account, some other accounts out there, and start building somewhat of a nest egg for the future. And you get the compound interest and the returns of whatever you invested in as well. Invest well, please. Do not do meme stocks, quality companies, or ETFs. Please, that are in good standing. I'll probably do a video about that of different ETFs and companies that I like. Another tip would be to start building credit, right? So I know back in the day, right? Back in the day, it used to be common to see a lot of credit card companies on college campuses, getting students to sign up for credit cards, multiple credit cards. Students don't know nothing about credit, don't know how to use it, don't know how it works, and they'll max out the cards, max it out, doesn't work anymore, cut it up, throw it away, and forgot, right? And a lot of people's credit got destroyed because of that, so they spent a lot of their years kind of trying to fix that. We live in the age of Web 2.0, almost Web 3.0. This information is free. It's easy to find. You have the world in your pocket. Some of you on $1,200 iPhones, $1,200 Galaxies, or whatever phone you have. You can look it up very easy on how to maintain great credit, right? Please have great credit. I recommend you to sign up for a credit card. In my opinion, I recommend you get a credit card in university if you do not have one already, to start building a credit score, because the real world requires you to have a credit score to do things, right? Buy a car, you have to have a credit score, right? To rent an apartment, they run your credit. Some jobs run your credit, right? You have to have credit out here. Even some insurance companies, I think most insurance companies run credit as well. But it's a good way for you to get prepared for when you graduate university, to have a credit score, not only just a credit score, a great credit score, the 700, 800 club. Don't screw your credit up, please. So get one or two Capital One Discovers, the two easiest to get. These are subprime credit cards, but essentially give them to everybody, right? So don't overspend, right? Have it for emergencies, or make one or two purchases on there. Pay off your balance in full every month to avoid interest charges. If you have an emergency where you do need to carry a balance, the great thing is get it paid off as soon as you can, right? So it's good to have the extra capital at your disposal for emergencies only, and you have the ability to pay it off. Good thing is, for example, if they charge you 30% interest or 24%, I believe is what it is. That's annual APR divided by 12. That's your monthly interest on that, the amount you owe. Hopefully, you don't have to take 12 months to pay it all off if you can't afford the whole amount. Come the billing date. Please do not misuse your credit card. Your credit score is everything. Maintain a low balance. Please have a low utilization rate. If you can, pay it off in full every month. Get 2 cars I recommend. Get a higher credit limit. That helps as well. But just start building credit, right? You just want to have credit. You want to have a great credit score. Keep your utilization low. Pay in full every month. I recommend to avoid interest payments. Don't misuse it. If you need it, it's there for emergencies as well. And you can make monthly payments. Do not pay a monthly payment. Pay more than a monthly payment if you need to make monthly payments. Pay more than a minimum payment if you do need to make monthly payments. But that's the thing with credit cards, you have to be responsible for that. You do not want to mess up your life before you graduate because you decide to be irresponsible with credit cards. So start building credit. Don't max it out. Pay your bills on time. Very easy to understand. You can look up for more information. I'll probably do another video on it. But it's very simple, right? The last thing, right, to have great finances while in school, right? Pick a school that you can afford. Please pick a school that you can afford. You do not need to go to the name brand school that's out of state where tuition is 45 grand a year. And here you are taking out all these student loans, right? You're stressing about your finances throughout college. Can't make ends meet. You don't know how you're going to pay for class because you don't maxed out on the student loans. There is no more aggressive scholarships for you to apply for. So pick a school that you can afford, right? 2, on that, well, to piggyback off that, right? Please, please, please understand and know how much your major pays as a salary. What's the average salary for your major? See, a lot of students paid all this money on the school, and their major pays $25,000 a year, $30,000 a year, right? You owe over $80,000 in student loans, but you only get paid $45,000 a year. That you could have avoided that by going maybe to an in-state school. Sure, it's not this big fancy name brand school, the Dukes, the Columbias, the Michigan States, the Minnesota States, FAMUs, right? University of Texas, Texas A&M's, right? And like, there's ways for you to save on taking out the max student loans by you simply just your majors. You don't even go to college for it. You can just go and get certifications or go and do a 2-year at a community college, and after that just start stacking up certifications, and you will be better off than you just been in school for years for a major that doesn't pay as much as you think, and you don't have all the student loans. So have a plan on your major. Maybe some of you 2 years plus all these certifications you can go and get. You will be better off and farther along than someone who just spent the last 4 years in school and just not graduating. You got 2 years of some education plus all these certifications on top of that. You're farther along than they are without all the student loans. If you have a major that pays well, right? Okay, go to an in-state school. You don't need to go to a fancy out-of-state school. You can go to an in-state school and spend a fraction of the price, and not have to worry about the high amount of student loans when you graduate, right? If it's possible, 30 to 40 grand of student loans is manageable for going to a 4-year university, and you can graduate with a job that's, say, pay $55,000 starting off. That's manageable versus you having a job that pays $45,000, $50,000, and you have $100,000 in student loans. I don't think you really want to see that payment number every month. And then some of you also made the decision to go and buy new cars when you graduate. Now you have another bill on top of your student loan bill. Let's say you don't have a roommate. Now you got an apartment. You're drowning already. Yeah, you maxed out credit cards like you're drowning already, And I'm trying to get people to avoid doing that by having a plan before you attend university. You should also not be having to switch major 2 to 3 times while in school. That costs money on the classes side, and you want to be there much longer. Have a plan before you enter university, and have a plan for when you get outside of university. Have an idea of how much all those are going to cost have an idea of how much my major pays, and do I need to make a switch or change universities, or but better late than never, but never late is better. As the one person once said. Do I have anything else? No, that's it. So that's it for today's video. I know I went on a bit of a tangent, but hopefully these tips were helpful for you to maintain good finances while in school, and also kind of when you get out of school as well. I went on a bit of a tangent, but these are what allow me to have a great credit score and have investments and run a business essentially before I even graduated university. So being a new recent graduate, me having that great foundation and footing for when I did graduate is going to make me that much more successful. And I know, and I have a plan and know exactly what to do now that I am graduated. Graduate, start getting more money, so money just really accelerates who you are, and doesn't really change you. So any extra money I get from here on out is just going to accelerate to me adding more money to my investment accounts, starting another business, right? Becoming a better networker, teaching, because I always like kind of teaching and giving advice. So it's allowed me to teach a little bit more, read a little bit more. So again, hopefully this helps. I got more videos for you guys coming. I will see you guys when I see you guys. Again, this is Taquan with My Honest Opinion. Signing out.